We're back out at the beautiful banner shooting range today. Another exciting video with the new Ruger LCP Max with the Magpul enhanced handgun grip. The Vanna White presentation. We have a full-size silhouette. It's an actual full-size silhouette target this time, not one where I'm guesstimating at the size. 7 yards out there. It's the EHG is going head-to-head against the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0, the Carry Comp Edition. I'm doing the Carry Comp today because if you follow the channel, you know my standard Bodyguard 2 has a micro optic. So we want to go iron sights versus iron sights in our first dedicated Bodyguard versus EHG video, shall we say. So let's get it started. What we're going to do, a full 13 round magazine from the LCP Max. And what I'll do is I'll mix in some shots with my normal two-handed grip, one-handed, right-handed, one-handed, left-handed, two-handed, left-handed grip. I might mix in some double taps. We'll repeat a similar pattern with the Bodyguard 2. And because we're using the same size silhouette, I'm going to movie magic and circle the hits, and we'll do like a comparison so we can do a comparison. So anyway, here we go. Starting with the LCP Max. Had John Woo Endless Magazine there for a minute. We put some holes on the paper. I don't know where they went. We'll have to circle them. I started with, we'll say, a point shot double tap and then tried to use the iron sights from there. I don't know how successful I was. An attempt was made. Anyway, I'm going to do the first 2 shots as a point shot double shoot from the low ready. From there, I will attempt to use the iron sights. You get the idea. Here we go. Well, somebody put some hits way high. I mean, that person, I don't know who it would have been. We put some hits on the paper. Again, we'll circle them. We'll do a little comparison. Let's do now 10 slow measured shots with our normal two-handed grip at the cranium zone of the target. Here we go. Same deal, I'll try to circle the impacts. It feels like we put the majority of our hits on the cranium zone. I got to restart the camera tracker. Repeating with the Bodyguard 2. Here we go. we will need to rely upon Target Cam for the comparison. Good thing we have Target Cam. Is it running? Survey says it was running. Yay! I think we have time before the range goes cold to fit in one more magazine, 10-round magazine from each firearm. We're going to aim from that center mass zone that's basically untouched. I'm going to do 10 shots from each firearm. I'll start and end the magazine with a single shot with 4 double taps in the middle. The ammo we're shooting for most of today's video is the Winchester White Box 95 grain full metal jacket. It has that flat point bullet some people claim gives firearms problems. Anyway, here we go. I don't think I put any hits where I wanted. Here we go. Same thing with the Bodyguard. Bodyguard won that one. So we've had 0 failures today so far, though I would say, not counting the holes on paper, the LCP Max might actually like this Winchester White Box a little more than my Bodyguard 2. We'll see if it shows up on camera. During the first or second magazine, there were a couple times where it seemed like my slide was kind of chug-a-luggied. So we'll see if that shows up on camera. It didn't cause a failure, but it felt like it almost was a failure. So who knows? Anyway, with the action on the range heating up, it's time for the discussion portion of today's video. Brand bias aside, trying to pick the better of these 2 pistols is a real challenge. But we've never let that stop us before. Enter our world-famous ranking map. Starting with accuracy, it's hard not to give the edge to the Bodyguard 2 carry comp. Is that familiarity or the subtle differences between the triggers, the sights, the recoil, etc.? Let's come back to our thoughts on that a little later. Reliability thus far is a wash. So far, the EHG has been 100%. The Winchester White Box gave my carry comp a few chug-a-luggies, but 0 failures. I don't recall my carry comp ever having any failures, and as a result, they're both equals in reliability's sake, at least for me. When it comes to recoil, the carry comp gets a slight edge. The extra girth of the EHG has significantly closed the gap that previously existed between the Bodyguard 2s and the LCP Maxes on the recoil front, but the carry comp still has a noticeable edge as far as recoil is concerned. A few weeks into the EHG days, and the holster landscape is still pretty barren. As a result, I've been assessing the concealment using the included storage holster, as I call it. Concealment in the pocket of my pants, be it the Levi 5150s or 501s, or my fancy overalls. I rate these 2 firearms as equals, at least in my pockets. My preferred carry method for the carry comp is inside waistband. While I'll likely get a pocket holster for the EHG for review purposes, odds are very good I'll still carry it in a similar inside waistband as I do my carry comp, assuming I can eventually get one anyway. When it comes to grip, I give the edge to the EHG. The little bit of extra size make it a little more comfortable in the hand compared to the carry comp for me. For sights, I normally give the edge to the carry comp, but let's talk about coincidence for a minute. Those mathy, sciencey people, they'll say something like, there's no such thing as coincidence. The day I brought home the EHG, the tritium front night sight on my carry comp failed. The day I brought it home. Yeah, no such thing as coincidence, my arse. At least I have a replacement on the way, already from Smith & Wesson. The call to get a replacement didn't take more than 30 seconds and was very easy. Anyway, the sights on the EHG are the standard Ruger LCP Max sights. The high visibility large white dot front sight with a tritium night sight center. It's very easy to pick up but you sacrifice some pinpoint precision in my experience. For trigger, I'd give the edge to the Bodyguard too, but I'm also not a fan of the Ruger secure action triggers in general, so there's that. They work well enough for the job. With the new 13-round magazine, the EHG has the edge in terms of capacity over the Bodyguard 2 carry comp with its stock 12-round magazine. For cleaning, the Bodyguard 2 might have a slight edge as it requires no tools. The EHG is very close, and some will likely toss out ways they remove the slide stop pin without using a tool in the comments. We're going to skip cosmetics and move right to Easy Rack. We call it Easy Rack, but it represents a collection of easy use features, shall we say. The EHG gets a big edge for ease of loading the magazine. Day one, magazine one, I could load the 13-round magazine by hand without using a mag loader or the strong arm. Even all these months later and thousands of rounds later, I still have to use the strong arm to load the 12-round magazines to capacity, and I mostly just use a mag loader, because why not? I'd rate articulating the slide as noticeably easier on the EHG compared to the Bodyguard 2 as well. For older eyes, I'd rate the larger, easier to see sights of the LCP Max as being more aged friendly, shall we say. We saved the best square for last, the value square, which is also the perfect spot for our conclusion. Where I found my EHG, it was priced about $50 cheaper than the carry comp, and I'd say that feels about right. With practice, my groups from the EHG can only get better, but with equal practice, do I think they can get equal to or better than the groups from the carry comp? At least for me, nay. Some of that is I prefer the smaller, more pinpoint sights on the carry comp and its striker fired trigger over the larger sights and secure action trigger on the EHG. Reliability and concealability are both very good for these two pistols, and the prices, well, they don't break the bank. For me, both are 5 strips of bacon-worthy value pieces, but not the same 5 strips of bacon, shall we say. The carry comp is the 5 I'd probably take first off the plate, but that's just me. How do you feel about these two pocketable 380s? Do you grab the EHG bacon or the carry comp bacon first? Let us know in the comments. And that seems like the perfect spot to end today's video. If you enjoyed today's presentation and like it, share it with your friends and family, maybe drop a comment on there. Those things are free and they really help the channel greatly. If you'd like to help us make more of these videos in the future, look into becoming a member. Fred and I really appreciate you getting this far. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a nice night.
Now I'm going to need all of you in the Bacon Nation to have a seat right over there.
Did I get it? Yeah.
10 yards.
I'm thankful for you. I appreciate everything you do. So stay safe, stay healthy. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the TV. And, take care of Fred and Corey when you can. You know what he likes.